Did somebody say double feature? That's right. We got Kendall and Kirsten Barnhart on the latest episode of In Full Stride. Carson, Gambaro, happy to be back at Guilderland High School, and so happy to have you guys with me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
So happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you guys are already pretty much jinxing each other, so glad you guys are bringing that energy. Tell me how you've been doing. It's been 2 entire days since I've last seen you at the grad party, Kirsten.
Things have been going pretty well. Just enjoying the beginning of summer for sure, and getting in all the rest I need to gear up for my summer training that starts next Monday, and just excited to have a break.
Yeah. Kendall, how about you? You're coming off your freshman year at BU.
Freshman year went really well. I'm excited for what's to come this next year. I'm currently on my break, so I've been able to relax, take some time to enjoy friends and family. So I'm looking forward to getting started again. So
Awesome. Now, in case you didn't notice, they're wearing pretty much the same darn near exact shirt because you guys are going to be future college teammates. Kirsten, you're going to be a freshman. Kendall, sophomore year's coming up. It's a real exciting time for you guys. So would you guys just want to expand upon what it means to know that you guys are soon going to be teammates again?
Yeah, we did not really expect it at all from either side. So to be back again, doing what we love together means so much to not only me, but I'm sure to you as well. So I'm super excited, really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a ton of fun having each other back on the same team again.
Yeah, I'm definitely really excited for it. When I came into my recruiting process, we never said we weren't going to go to the same school, but it also wasn't our priority to be at the same school. We kind of just wanted to be at where we felt fit the most. And BU just kind of felt like a family to me. It was really great. And I just absolutely loved it and enjoyed my whole time while I was out there with the whole team. And I was very excited to find out the other day that on plane rides for whenever we travel for meets, the seating is alphabetical order. So I'll be able to sit with her on the plane. So that's a little exciting thing I just found out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying essentially that you're just excited to be able to bother your sister on the plane rides now?
Oh yeah, 100%. But I mean, realistically, it was I am so grateful to be able to be on a team with her again. Although it definitely wasn't something that we had planned for, I think we always really do better when we're together. Mm-hmm. And I think overall, going into BU, it's such an incredible program. As soon as she went to visit there, I was kind of drawn in then, but I was like, oh, I don't know. I have to visit so many other schools and give everywhere else a fair chance. But there's just no better feeling than being at BU. It's such a family.
Yeah, I got a chance to look at your recruiting scrapbook that your mother put together. I mean, you had 17 schools that you visited?
About that. I think I had 17 offers for visits, and I ended up going on something around 12. It was a very busy fall for me last year, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Now, another point you mentioned, the better together. That's ironic, right? Because you guys don't really do a lot of the same events. Would you like to tell those who don't know what events that you primarily do?
Yes, so I am a sprinter and a hurdler.
And I'm a horizontal jumper.
Yeah. Kendall, you ended up getting second place at your conference championships at the Patriot League in the 4 hurdles, and here you got all the way up to 5th on the long and 3rd in the triple at your most recent state championships. So yeah, you guys have definitely shown that you can do well at your events. So, just talk to me about your seasons and how you really brought them together.
Yeah, so my first season as a freshman went way better than I expected. Just because I know freshman year is definitely a transition year. You're trying to figure out pretty much how to live on your own, how to be independent. You've always had your parents there. For me, I've always had Kirsten there. So to pretty much have no one and having to figure out everything else out on your own was definitely a transition. Indoor started out better. And then as we got closer to conference, I really started to see my true effort and running actually be put together, which was awesome, especially for it to happen at conference was great. And then outdoor I have no words for outdoor. I was so blown away with how my coach pretty much tailored us to all PR and perform amazing at conference. It was a lot of hard work, but it was so worth it. This outdoor conference was such an experience, and for me to place second was amazing. I went in with no expectations, just saying go run for your team, go do what you normally do, and to have that result, especially to run sub 60, it was more of like a dream to me. I never thought I was going to ever run sub 60, just because yes, I've been doing the 400 hurdles for 2 years now, but it's still more of a new event. Like this year, I just started using blocks, and
I was going to ask about that, because when I watched your 400 hurdles races last year as a senior at Guilderland, you would always be the one to start up right.
I know. So that was a massive difference for me, and so to see everything that my new coach and from high school, just to everything fall into place and come together at that one meet, just was. It was kind of like a dream to me. I never thought that it would all come together so soon. So super excited for that.
That's awesome. Kirsten, coming to you quick. I mean, we'll expand a lot about that 400 hurdles and that sub 60 barrier, but for you, Kirsten, it felt like you were just pounding away at just about every PR of yours, meet after meet. You got to 18:10 in the long and over 39 in the triple. So just what was that grind like for you?
Well, honestly, it was definitely like a lot of work hard, play hard in my opinion, because going into my senior year, I knew that more than anything else, more than state achievements, more than national achievements, I wanted to enjoy my last season as, being a part of the Guilderland Dutchman. And I just kind of took that energy into every meet. I kind of tried to take some things a little less seriously while still being locked in on what I needed to do, because I knew that more than anything else, I wanted to enjoy this year. And what leads to PRs is relaxing and really enjoying what you do and having fun. So I think that was just such a huge part of really just not letting up on training, but having fun with the girls at practice every day. One of my best friends is on the team, Saida, so that was a huge part of that, because just being around her and being around my friends truly meant for me to have such an enjoyable last year. So I think that led to all of my PRs and being able to peak at the right times, because like at nationals, for example, when I hit that like 39 6-foot jump, I was excited to be there. I was excited to compete. My future coach was there, and I absolutely love her. She's such an amazing person. So just being able to see her there made me so excited. And I also had Coach Gross on the field with me, and she's just been such a pivotal part of my experience as a jumper. She has helped me so much, not only on the track but off the track, with learning lessons and learning how to just keep pushing forward. So all of the right people were there. My family was there, some of my best friends were there. So it's just having all the right people and just truly enjoying what I do, because like being able to do this in college, I could name so many reasons why I'm doing it. But the main reason is because I love the sport, and I think that's why everyone should be doing it.
Yeah, that's it right there. I really appreciate you for sharing that. And you're also part of one of the best jumping duos in the state. You have your teammate Tatum Kramer, who won both the long and the triple jump. So you were just part of such a historic season, and that's just really awesome. I feel like for both of your broad events, there's a lot of different types of technique that goes into them. So, what ways did you feel that learning that technique has challenged you guys in getting better?
Yeah, I mean, especially for hurdles, just pretty much keeping the repetition with everything that you're doing, especially with hurdle drills. So I would do them every single day, no matter if I was hurdling or if I wasn't hurdling, just because the more repetition you have, the farther along the technique and the skill is going to come with you, especially when you put that into the race.
Yeah. Have you learned the step patterns, like figuring out how many steps you want to take in between each hurdle yet for the 400 hurdles?
So that's something that me and my coach are going to work on this year, this coming year. So this past year, it was more of just like, let's get into the groove of things. Since he's our new coach, so he's never seen me 400 hurdle before. So he was just like, let's see what kind of 400 hurdler you are, and let's figure out what works best for you.
Yeah, he sees this 61-second 400 hurdle. How can I make this into a sub-60 400 hurdler? And look at where we are now.
Yeah.
So, Kirsten, for you, again, I feel like there's a lot of experimentation that goes into figuring out your steps, a short approach, long approach. I mean, you're a bit of a taller athlete, so you got a longer stride to work with. What's it been like figuring out your sweet spot there?
Well, I definitely think it's a lot of, you have to not be afraid to try new drills, even if they're super weird and you wouldn't expect them to work, because sometimes the slightest change can mean all the difference. Like, during the beginning of indoor, Coach Gross set up a drill for me when I was doing my mark, and she just put, I have a problem with like slightly fouling sometimes, so she just put a mini hurdle by like where I was supposed to take off from, and she's like, don't look at it, you'll be fine. And then I didn't look at it, and then
Was it
I
like
was
off
fine.
to the side there?
It was on the runway, so like
Oh.
I could have hit it, but she knew I wasn't going to because she's done the exact same thing before. So that was able to help me get my mark where I was much more under me on my takeoff. But you definitely have to be just open to trying new things. And I think another huge part of my training is having a training buddy that I've been working with. You know, having such close competition all the time and being with Tatum, just such an amazing athlete to train with, because there are some times where Coach Gross is very busy helping other athletes, and because she does a lot. She's a jack of all trades. You know, she's got to help the high jump and then run back and forth to long jump. She's always doing a lot. So Tatum and I will definitely help each other, and just having someone of like such caliber that she is and how amazing she is, obviously going to Georgetown and everything next year, it's been such a huge part of my training, being able to have someone that I can just be so closely competitive with, and someone who's just as talented as she is.
I feel like for a lot of things, not just sports, but when you arrive at a place where you almost can teach yourself, I feel like that's when you feel like that you've really figured it out to a sense. Not as though there's not future things to learn, but yeah. Have you guys seen that from yourselves with what you've learned from your coaches?
Oh my gosh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for jumping, like it's gotten to the point with a lot of our athletes. This is something Coach Gross does very well. She's made it so that we learn so easily, so that like even our younger girls, even our 8th graders who are just starting, who are also super incredible and
Oh
crazy.
my gosh, yes.
But like they'll come out of the pit and they'll be like, oh, I need to have my hips more under me, or oh, my landing wasn't the best. And then she's like, so what am I even doing here? Like, she'll joke with us and say stuff like that. So she's done such an incredible job as a coach as to make it so that pretty much all of our jumpers can be very self-sufficient. And we, like, just before she even says anything, I'll be like, oh, like I dropped my hips a little bit, or I didn't hold quite as long as I should have. And she's like, yep. And I think that's another incredible thing she's done as coach.
For you, Kendall, you probably were faced with a lot of new knowledge when you hit your first year of college. Kirsten, it sounds like you've been set up well for that, but what were some things that might have shocked you about that first year at BU?
Oh my gosh. So my coach did something very similar. He would always come up to me and he's like, it looked good, but what can we improve on? And he's like, what do you see as being the athlete? So especially with the 400 hurdles, I usually always ran and hugged the inside of my lane.
Yeah,
And-
you got to be careful there.
Yeah. And so he actually taught me to more stay towards the middle and the outside, because that will help, especially with my long stride and being a shorter runner, that will help project me and make my hurdles smoother as I go across them. He also taught me this thing about adding in a couple little smaller steps before I go over the hurdle to make that transition from the ground to the hurdle much smoother. And he would always ask me, he's like, what'd you forget? Like, it looks great, but what were the main points that you forgot, and he would always ask me, which I felt made me understand it more, so I could pick up on it. So whenever I had to, there were some big meets where he's all over the place, of course. We've got the short sprinters, the long sprinters, and the hurdlers, so he's just one coach, but he does a great job managing all of that. But there'd be some times where I have to do a couple pre-meet runs before he could get a chance to see him. So now, by him teaching me and asking me those questions and keeping me engaged with how I'm training and how I'm running, it's made my life a lot easier, because now I know what to fix even when he's not there.
Yeah, it's like he's asking you the easy questions, but it's still keeping yourself challenged, keeping yourself active and on your feet.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you would say that you've taught each other, if you had a thing to say? Maybe perhaps what you've learned from the other person, so it's a little bit more Denica gratitude.
One thing I've learned from Kirsten is how to always stay positive and have a always clear mind, because especially with jumping, if you foul, if you start by getting off on the wrong foot, Kirsten does such a good job of staying composed and keeping her cool and just being like, okay, was one foul, let's get on the runway, let's do it this time. Like that's what I've learned. So whenever I have a practice hurdle right before I run, I go over it, I hit it, or something happens like that, I always think back to her, and I'm just like, she knows how to stay cool and composed. We just have to stay cool and composed. So
Your turn.
I think more than anything else, the main thing I've learned with Kendall in terms of track is dedication. Like, she has such dedication to doing everything so many times, coming to practice on time, being there on time, doing her workouts as well as she can. And I know her college workouts and the ones I'm going to be seeing this summer are definitely very challenging, even compared to some of the challenging workouts Coach Scanlon has thrown at us during high school. So to be able to see her dedication, and especially going through college, going through her first year with such success due to this dedication and all of the hard work she put in over the summer and the hard work she brought into BU in the fall, that's definitely something where, like, training with her over the summer, that'll definitely have such an impact on me, because her hard work will kind of help me to work harder as well.
I've got to ask you, Kirsten, because when Kendall first made that commitment, early decision to Boston University in the fall of 2023, you were still a junior then, still had a lot of upside, but you had yet to qualify for a single New York State championship. Did the possibility of getting on that same stage as her again, you said it wasn't exactly a planned thing, but did that possibility in the back of your mind serve as some extra motivation heading into that junior year?
The thing is ever since I was much younger in track, I always kind of figured that I would really want to try and go D1. And up until my junior year, I hadn't really hit the numbers for it. It had been a very frustrating thing for me because I knew it was there. My coach knew it was there. It was just kind of one of those things where the 2 years before, I was so close to qualifying and going to states and like stuff like that. I just was like right there. Something hadn't quite clicked in my mind yet. But truly having Coach Gross made all the difference that season. Just the little things, adding in my arms to my triple jump, doing all this stuff like that. Whereas even for my junior year, you know, I was in indoor jumping 36, and then I got to outdoor and I was jumping 38.4. You know, as a coach, she knew it was there, and she knew I had the dedication to want to get to states and want to do really well at stuff like states and nationals. It was just really getting those final pieces to click, and thankfully we finally got the pieces to click. So it was like, I always knew I wanted to be on that stage, but I didn't know how realistic it was until we finally got things to click.
Yeah, and now you got the scarlet cherry on top. Future teammates at BU.
Yes.
If you guys could have a pet terrier, like let's say if you were co-dog moms, right? You already are with Lindy there at home. And yeah, what would you name it?
Oh my gosh. What would you name yours?
Where are you going to? Let's see. Oh my god. I don't have a really good name for this. I don't really know. That's a good question.
I know.
What's the
Controversial
name of the actual
topics.
terrier?
Oh, I would name it Bean.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's actually a good one because we have the Bean Pot at Boston University.
Oh, yeah, Beantown, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
one
the
of
one
our
name.
One of our main sports not only is track at BU, but we're also a
Hockey.
really big hockey school, and we have a meet called the Bean Pot because that's all the school, like 4 schools in Boston, Northeastern, Harvard, us and BC. We all go head to head, and I think we actually just won it this past year.
Yeah, we did.
And so I think Bean's a really good name for a terrier.
Yeah, that's the so we actually currently have a service dog up at BU that's also named Beantown. So I thought that was really fitting.
That's so awesome. Did you get a chance to meet Beantown?
I did. He was so cute. He was just a puppy too, so he's in training to become a full-time service dog right now. So
That's great. Do they bring him by practice, or did you just go visit him at the office there?
they bring him everywhere. They bring him to the hockey games. They bring him to classes, just walking around campus. It's a ton of fun.
Kirsten, did you meet him on your visit?
I didn't, but actually I saw him. I actually might have seen him at the hockey game,
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
they also at the hockey game were giving out pins that had him on the pin. So
Aw.
that was really cool.
He's pretty famous.
Because I was very happy to be able to go and enjoy a hockey game while I was out there on my visit. And I surprised her, which was really fun.
That's so awesome. I mean, it's really important to, like you talked about with the positivity earlier, to just have something to, ease your mind. I mean, therapy dogs are at almost every institution, but it's nice to know that you guys are going to the place where the most legendary therapy dog of all time is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. So we've got summer coming up, of course, you got your nice little break before those workouts come up. Kirsten, what's on the agenda for you as far as workouts go?
I'm not entirely sure yet because my coach and I are going to talk about them soon, kind of as I'm nearing the end of my 2-week break after obviously competing from November to June is quite a lot of time. So we're going to figure all that out. But if it's anything like Kendall's last year, it'll be lots of lifting, lots of strength training, really just getting myself in the best shape possible coming into this year. It's less focusing on the skill aspects, but more focusing on the strength and really getting you nice and strong for college.
Great, yeah. That's something that I feel like a lot of college athletes notice a real transformation in terms of the routine. There's a lot of times where you'll have a workout and lift in the same day, which is a lot more atypical at the high school ranks. So it's going to be an interesting adjustment, I'm sure. But knowing that you have your sister there, it's probably going to feel like more of what you guys have already experienced.
Oh yeah, definitely. I already feel so confident going into BU just because I have, like, it felt like a family when I went out to visit. Overall, like, all my visits were great. All the schools were amazing, amazing coaches, amazing people, all the people I met along the way. But there was just something so different and so family-oriented about BU that just, I mean, obviously my actual family is there.
Yeah.
But besides even that, you know, all of the girls on the team were absolutely incredible. Such an amazing coach. And then coming into this year with my new class of Terriers that are all incoming recruits, they are such incredible people. You know, really just talking to them, meeting them makes me so excited for next year. And I think it'll be nice to have a familiar face on campus where, you know, we can go and get food together. I'll see her at lifts in the mornings, although we might not be practicing together. But it's definitely, I definitely think I'll feel less homesick, for sure.
Awesome. What would you say have been some of the biggest character-building moments throughout your careers to get you to where you are now that we've yet to cover?
Oh, that's a good question. I definitely think I think the thing that I have learned the most and has truly made me who I am and the runner I am today is all of the people I looked up to when I was younger. Guilderland had me on their track and field team since I was in 7th, 8th grade, pretty much. And so I had a lot of big role models to look up to, like Kate Scanlon, Megan Hickey, Willow, Alex, Stella Coop, all of them. So they definitely showed me the ropes, and they truly guided me into who I am today. And then also with all my younger athletes that I got to run with and experience with, like Addison and Saida and Tatum, and even some of the younger girls like Fiona, Marin, and Lauren. Just, they've also helped me grow because I want to show them what Kate and Willow showed me.
Yeah.
And how to be such a true and kind athlete, not only to your teammates, but to the entire section as well, and up until college as well, too.
Yeah, you mentioned Kate Scanlon, Willow Novak, two girls that held school records that you ended up breaking. And Saida Asabahi, she's going to Binghamton. Kirsten shouted her out earlier, but got to give her another one because she ended up breaking your 400 school records and the 200 as well. So I remember that was where we kind of left off at the end of our little senior send-off interview. I'll leave a link to that for mile split at state quals last year on the G. But you left off with saying that you hoped that the program would continue in the right direction. It's clear to see that it has.
Yes, it has. And I'm best friends with Saida, so I told her, I'm like, I know it's in there for you. I know with how dedicated you are and with how much you work, and you're just, if you've met Saida, you know she is an incredible person. Her humor, her kindness, her caring of people. Like, I told her, I'm like, you're going to break these records, and you are going to break them by a ton, and I really hope it is you to break them because you deserve it because of how hard you work, and I know you're going to do it. I know it's in there. So when I saw her break them, I immediately texted her right away, and I was like, I knew you could do it. Just because I knew, just you can see something in someone, like especially Saida and Tatum, you can just see how hard they work, and you know that they're going to be spectacular runners, not only at the high school level, but once they get into college, they're just going to keep continuing to grow. So each time they both do something amazing, I'm like, I knew you can. Like,
yeah. Any character building moments for you, Kirsten?
I definitely think one of the main ones that should be talked about more is the idea of, like, bad meets or, like, quote, failures, because in my opinion, any failure isn't exactly a failure because you learn anything from every experience you have, and just because you didn't have the best meet or the best day, there's still so many takeaways to have from it, because those are the opportunities where you build off of those experiences. Like my junior year, for both indoor and outdoor states, I didn't quite perform the way I wanted to, but I took from those experiences and used that for states this year. And then obviously, I got third during indoor and, stepped in for the 4x2 to try and help them out. We did pretty good in that. And then for outdoor, third in the triple jump, fifth in the long jump. So it's just really learning from your failures and your past experiences, because every meet and every experience is valuable in some way, even if you don't perform exactly the way you want to. And I think that's such an important thing, because every aspect of every meet is important in some way. You just have to apply it to your future meets, and you have to not dwell on the things that have happened, but let it be a teaching moment and learn how, okay, I'll prepare this way instead, or maybe I should keep my foot more under myself, or maybe I just shouldn't be as nervous, because at the end of the day, there's so much more to life than track, and the less nervous you are, the more relaxed you are, the easier it is to compete at your best. So
I really appreciate that you shared that. That's got me feeling a lot more validated about this new thing that I've tried this year. I literally started a track workout vlog. I've literally been logging every single one of my workouts and races thus far, and I think that's just been helping me focus on the things that I need to focus on and just have more fun with the sport, because like you said, there's more to life than track. And so just use this opportunity to do what you love, to enjoy it.
Exactly. That's, I think, one of the most important things you can learn from doing a sport, because at the end of the day, sports have been everything to me, but at the same time, there's so much more to life than just athletics. And I think that's such an important thing, because you're not just an athlete, you're a human being, you're a family member, you're a friend. And if a meet doesn't go the way you want it to, that's okay, because there are more meets to come. And even if you end your last meet on a bad one, so what? You've had everyone just has such an incredible career. There are peaks, there are valleys, but at the end of the day, sports are meant to be fun, they're meant to be enjoyed, and they're meant to be something that everyone can do to their own degree. And I think it's just important to know that any athlete should realize that they're more than just an athlete, they're a person. And I think that's just so important.
What is more to life than than track for you guys? Like what do you guys do outside of the sport?
I love going up to Lake George. That's probably my favorite one, and obviously spending time with my family and friends, and especially when you go away to college for a while and you're there without your family, you start to value your family. I mean, not more, but almost wish you were with them more. So when I came home, yes, I spent time with my friends, but I really got a chance to really sit down and actually spend some real quality time with my family, which I think is really important. And I've learned to really incorporate that, especially going to see my grandparents and stuff like that. So I really started to truly value that, especially after being away from all of them for such a long time.
Yeah, I think outside of track, I love to hang out with my family and friends. The people truly make the place, and the people around me are just so important to me that I just love to hang out with them as often as I can. Oh, last serious note, I love getting food, Carson. I love going and getting food, honestly.
Any recommendations for those who've never been to upstate New York?
Bangkok Kitchen is a very good Thai place, I will say that. I just went there after graduation, but it's also just trying to get out, do fun things, go on hikes, be up at Lake George. It's just focusing on school as well, because besides being an athlete, we are also students who have to take our studies pretty seriously. So it's kind of just having a kind of full circle kind of life. You have a little bit of everything.
What are you guys majoring in?
So I'm majoring in psychology right now to hopefully go into forensic science.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I'm majoring in political science and potentially going with a minor in psychology, and for that, I'd like to go into politics.
Wow. You see, that's interesting, because a lot of times when you're a student athlete, I feel like exercise science or nutrition, one of the more physiological related majors is the typical that you'll see, but you guys clearly have your own interests that are further than that, so that just further goes to show that there's more to life than that. How did you guys really get into those aspects of life?
I've always been interested in the science behind how the brain works and everything like that. And originally coming in, I actually wanted to be a sports psychologist. So I did end up wanting to do something with the sports aspect. But then as I got deeper into the classes and stuff this year with the classes that I took for my major, I started really liking the science behind it. And we did a couple of things that kind of simulated forensic science, like the psychology forensic science and stuff like that. So I started just to find it very interesting. So that kind of led me down that path to end up going that way.
What about you with poli-sci?
So for me, when I was younger, much younger, like around 3rd grade, my thing was like, I want to be first female president. And I'm not saying that's exactly not the case right now. I don't really know exactly to what level I want to go into politics, but I just have interest in making our world a better place through policy and through all of that. And I tend to think of myself as a pretty good public speaker. I love talking to people, and at the end of the day, I just would love to help make our country a better place through policy, and so that's kind of where I landed on poli-sci.
I will warn you, I won most likely to become president as my senior superlative in high school, so if you want to become the first female president, you're going to have to go through me. We're about to turn this into a whole debate episode. I've actually got a few interesting ideas for a debate episode. If you guys remember, I did an episode with Noah Tyndale, who was an assistant coach at Guilderland. He ran the 800 a lot as his main event in high school, and we have a friend at church, Easton Reagan, who was a 400 hurdler like you in college, and of course, I run the 400, which 3 of the toughest events in track and field, so I feel like that would make for a really good debate episode for some foreshadowing for you guys.
Oh my gosh,
that definitely would.
If you guys could pick one event that you have never done in track and field to pick up, which would you choose?
Ooh, I would probably choose triple jump.
Okay.
Really?
She's like, no way, you're not about to steal my
Ironic.
thunder.
No, honestly, for me, one event that I've kind of tried before is I really kind of like discus. When Cadence Brewer used to be back on our team, she was a very good thrower back at the time. There was one practice where we weren't really doing too much of anything, so I went over to throwing, and she kind of showed me, the basic gist of it. And I just think something like discus or javelin would just be so cool, because just like the motions of doing that is just something that's like, each part of like track has its own craft and something that's so difficult. So I feel like trying to figure out how to do discus and like pick that up would just be so cool, because the fluidness and the motions of that is just really cool to watch.
Call me crazy, but I feel like if we swapped the shot with the disc and the heptathlon, you guys could actually not do half bad at the 7 event extravaganzas, I like to call it.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you can already do the 200, you can hurdle, you've run some 800s before, so yeah. You were telling me at the grad party that those may make a return in indoor season. Is that true?
So that may be very possible.
Okay. We may have to just leave it at that, because there's no guarantees with an event like that.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I gotta ask. I've been wanting to know this. We're getting towards the end right here, but one thing that I've been dying to know is, what is one thing that you would not do for one another?
What we would not do?
Yes.
If there was a snake in her room, I would not go get the snake.
She wouldn't go into our garage for a few days because there was a snake.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of snakes. So.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would not do for her.
You would just leave it in there for her to have a new pet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very friendly pet.
One of my things is probably like sharing certain foods. Like, we both love our food, so I feel like sharing certain foods, like if I have my favorite food right in front of me, probably not. Like, I would pretty much do anything for her, but sharing food,
I think that kind of
maybe
goes
not.
both ways.
I think that does go both ways.
I think it does go both ways.
Yeah, that's like me when there's a beautiful cheese pizza on the table and there's like 10 other people that I got to share with. It's like, so oftentimes I'll try and be nice, right? If I'm at a party, right, where there's pizza, I'll just be like, does anybody want the last slice? I'll do a going once, going twice, just to make sure that I'm not doing the wrong thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're totally the type of sisters, like, we would really do anything for each other. Like, if I called her, she'd come help me, whatever I needed.
Yeah.
But if she tries to take a fry off my plate, her hand might be getting smacked a little bit.
Her hand might not make it back to her
might not
mouth.
make it back. But I think it's the same way for her as it is for me in that sense. So.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see plenty of fry fights on the plains now. So yeah.
Oh yes, sitting next to each other.
I guess so.
Exciting stuff. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on for a great episode of In Full Stride. Y'all should be sure to follow the podcast on Instagram, subscribe, and leave a like if you want to see some more. And wish these 2 ladies the best of luck at BU.
Thank you, Carson.
You guys got
Thank you
anything?
so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
You
you.
guys got anything left you'd like to share today?
No,
No, I don't think so.
Just thank you
so
for
much
having us.
Yeah, this has been great.
You guys were some of the first friends that I made on this little track journey of mine. So yeah, I had to make this thing happen, and I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you,
We
Carson.
appreciate you too. Thank you.
All right. See you later, everybody.